Michigan won the toss, elected to defer to the second half. Quentin Renning and Sean Tyler back to receive it. We're underway here in Minneapolis. And it will be a touchback that'll start this Minnesota offense from the 25-yard line. A new quarterback this year after Tanner Morgan.
Run the football, set up their play action, set up their bootlegs, but it all starts with their ability to run the football.
And they'll be without their star true freshman Darius Taylor for the second consecutive week with a leg injury. So Bryce Williams will start the running back here on first down. They'll go running back by committee with 3 really solid backs. Play action on first down. Calais Manis is going to throw it at the ground. This is a Michigan defense that has been one of the best in the country. And in fact, they co-lead all of FBS.
And beautiful coverage by McCarthy, and the ball just had to be grounded.
And this is who they're missing, Darius Taylor. When he went down, he was towards the top of pretty much every statistical category on the ground in the entire country. He has been outstanding to start his career. 2nd and 10. Fake the handoff. And Calais Manis is going to throw a pick. All the way in. Touchdown, Will Johnson. Second play, pick 6. Michigan on top early. First for Will Johnson, 6th of the season for this Michigan defense. And now James Turner's extra point makes it 7-0. While it was painful at times, it was necessary, it was therapeutic, and it was helpful moving forward. We've seen Calais Manis.
And that's just part of the deal. That's part of playing the position at a high level. And he's right back out there on the field.
One thing he did say he learned after that UNC game and that Northwestern game, everybody in this football building has his back. He felt it. So right back to it, just 12 seconds into this first quarter, already down 7-0 with Bryce Williams in the backfield. And they do hand it to him. Williams running hard, and he gains 7. Back to the ground. First down and more. Finally dumped down at the 45. Nice run by Williams. McCarthy gets to him.
They just substituted.
Offense. 5-yard penalty from the previous line of scrimmage. 2nd down.
That one hurts because that was a really nice play. Got him another set of downs. And so now they're back to 2nd and 8.
2 tight ends in there on 2nd down. The read option. Calais Manis just hands it off. Williams span forward, the motion man. Calais Manis back to the air. And low throw, nearly picked off again, knocked down.
And those are defensive linemen that are dropping into coverage. I think he could outrun them for the first down, but instead, Minnesota's got to punt the football away.
So here comes the 29-year-old Australian punter, Mark Crawford. And he'll send it away for Minnesota. Fair catch called for and made by Jake Thaw.
They're right back in the running for that again this year.
Blake Corum in there on first down, hand it to him. Good things generally happen when you do that. He goes between the tackles, drags tacklers across the 35, and he'll pick up 10 on first down. Play action, swing it, Roman Wilson. Tried to make one move, couldn't get past the first one, but does pick up 6 yards on first down. Corum, and he stumbles down about a yard shy.
Spectacular.
Let's see what they do on 3rd and 1. They're going to hand it off. They didn't get it. Kalel Mullings is stood up. Play action. McCarthy can run. He'll just flip it. Mullings with space in front and a first down and more deep inside Minnesota territory. Corum back in there on first down. McCarthy, swing it. Johnson, first down catch and run. Johnson weaving through defenders, and he's leveled at the 21. Picks up 20. And he's showing it week in and week out. Play clock down to 2. They get it off. McCarthy keeps looking to get to the edge, and he's tripped up behind the line of scrimmage. Trayvon Jones with a nice play in the backfield. Mullings back in there. Johnson in motion. McCarthy to the air. It's dropped. Cornelius Johnson, the intended target, and Minnesota gets the 3rd down stop. James Turner field goal. Just his 7th attempt in game number 6. And Turner Makes it 10-zip. Trophy games, there's something special about it. There's something different about it. And we got to go to the facility here yesterday and got to see all the different trophies that they've had. Really cool. Doman puts it down. Another touchback. Look at that thing.
Yeah.
Look at the jawline on that.
They got some guys that can make plays. You got to give them the football.
Play action on first down. A lot of pressure, and he just throws it out of bounds. Was there a receiver in the area? Third drive for this Minnesota offense. The pick six on the first one, and then stalled out after a couple of penalties on their second opportunity.
And he needs an easy completion soon. He's 0 for 3. They got some guys that can make plays. You got to give them the football.
Play action on first down. A lot of pressure, and he just throws it out of bounds. Was there a receiver in the area?
He had to get rid of that. I mean, he did not have time on that play. They tried to go play action on first down. They've got a tight end and a back end helping. It doesn't matter. Junior Colson was in the backfield, and Ethan didn't even have time to set his feet. Just had to throw that one away and bring up 2nd and 10.
In the general direction of Daniel Jackson, maybe.
Yeah.
But no flag comes in for intentional grounding, so it's 2nd down. Spencer in motion. Here's Zach Evans, the reigning Big Ten freshman of the week, just dragging tacklers,
nice
gains
run.
10 plus. They'll give him 12. So he moves the sticks. And they'll feed the hot hand. Evans finds the hole. They just had one man to beat in that back line as he's dumped at the midfield line. As Darius Taylor has to look on. He was the first man to congratulate Evans on his stellar performance a week ago, despite having to watch it from the sideline. Go right back to him. A cutback. Evans up the gut, and he just gained 7 more. Get Sean Tyler in there, so all 3 backs have now had an opportunity. Play action. Kaliakmanis on the rollout. And he does have his first completion behind the line of scrimmage to Brevin Span-Ford, the big body tight end. Kaliakmanis feeling the pressure, and he finds his target on the run. It's Williams for a first down.
Really nice job. Michigan is getting a lot of pressure.
And everybody's staying fresh for the 4th quarter and through the season. They're going to run it on first down, and Michigan's defense, that fresh leg mentality and the buy-in shows itself right off the bat. Play action, Kaliakmanis. It was knocked down towards the line of scrimmage, nearly got to Daniel Jackson anyway, but brings up 3rd and 14. Their kicker, Kesich, had a long of 50 this season.
You got to get part of this yardage back, trying for half, but you got to protect, and they've not done that very well so far.
Play clock down to 1, just get it off. Kaliakmanis, deep drop, looking to evade trouble. Now he's going to tuck it and run it, and Kaliakmanis will slide down at the 35. Got hit after the fact, but no flag's going to come in. So this would be about a 52-53 yard field goal. Officially at 54 yards, his career long of 50 came at Northwestern a couple weeks ago. And Kesich's kick is pure.
He was quite the competitor, that's for sure. 16 years in the NFL, a bunch of different teams.
We'll stick with Corum. We still haven't seen Donovan Edwards, and Michigan is hoping to get him going at some point as Corum met in the gap. Gains just 2. Darius Green came flying from the secondary to lay the hit. Corum with 16 yards on the ground, just 3 carries. Play action, McCarthy with plenty of time. Unloads over the middle of the field, perfectly delivered for Cornelius Johnson. So Tariq Watson in there, and it's a first down carry for Corum, who once again is submerged in the pile. Career high 8 tackles to start the season against Nebraska, and a crazy victory for Minnesota. Trailed by 10 late in the 4th quarter, and will find a way to win. 2nd and 8. McCarthy unloads, sideline, overthrows Roman Wilson.
Great coverage by Trayvon Jones. I mean, there was nowhere to throw the football. They feel like this one area where this offensive line struggles a little bit with twists and games rushing the quarterback.
Here comes the pressure. McCarthy has speed. Stayed on his feet, but he didn't have enough. So it'll be a punt for Tommy Doman again. And Quentin Redding back to receive. This one high, good hang time, fair catch is made at the 12. Through 5 games, the coaching staff, the players feel like they've played an entire season. They've gone through every possible scenario. How about a pick 6 on the second play and finding that after what they've done so far?
Well, they settled in and they ran the football, but again, Kaliakmanis has got to throw the football. They've got to get some of their other guys involved.
Evans, flag is down, spins away, and this one likely coming backward.
Holding. Offense. Number 66. Half the distance to the goal. Remains. First down.
Convincingly by the time the game was over. They were 7-6 against Bowling Green late in the second quarter, 17-7 at one point against Rutgers in the third quarter before pulling away.
See if Minnesota can capitalize as Kaliakmanis, another dangerous throw.
And a good gain from deep in your own territory. It's just ball placement is what hurt him on that one.
And Williams back in the game in the backfield. See the clear difference through the air so far. Hand it off. Williams bounce it to the outside. Tripped up after a gain of 2. Will Johnson, who had the pick 6 to start the game.
If you're Michigan, great job getting a 3 and out. You get a negative play, you get a penalty, and now you're going to get good field position after getting this punt.
Second punt of the day for Mark Crawford. And Tyler Morris is back deep for Michigan. Crawford line drive. Morris lets it bounce. Good. Minnesota bounce, and then Morris dangerously hauls it in. A great job on the punt to try to flip the field inside the 40. And as Todd mentioned, a legitimate NFL prospect. Handoff Corum. Corum finds some daylight. He's got some speed and some blockers. Corum down the sideline. And finally just out of bounds, shy of the 20. Picks up 42. Now Donovan Edwards will have his chance. Edwards, bounce it, drag down, but a nice gain. And this is something that Donovan Edwards and this team has been looking for. And Zach Zinter has been a big part of all the rushing success.
Keegan and Zinter, they're the tone setters for this group. They're the 2 returners. The other starters up there, Barnhart started some last year. The other 2 starters are transfers that came in from other programs.
On the reverse, Wilson looking to turn on the speed. Wilson gets through that first down and then went airborne out of bounds. Let's see if they punch it in here on 1st and goal. Edwards through the middle, keeps it churning, and Edwards is down inside the 1.
And Corum now going for his 10th rushing touchdown.
Corum fighting. Ball comes out late. They ruled it dead, but he didn't get in.
There's no fumble on the play. The runner's forward progress was stopped.
Well, you got to respect the running of McCarthy here too, not just Corum.
Corum again, goes airborne and he's in. Touchdown, number 10 on the season for Blake Corum.
A really nice block by the tight end, number 89, A.J. Barner.
And Michigan does capitalize. Got decent field position after a pretty good punt. And now Turner, extra point, makes it 17-3. Blake Corum relishes in these moments, just continues to churn out production on the ground. So Doman, that one looks like it came up short. That's a flag out of bounds.
Free kick out of bounds. The ball will be placed at the 35-yard line on the right hash. First down.
His team watched how hard he worked to get back, but after a while he felt like, okay, you know what? It's good. I can do this. And now he looks like the Blake Corum that we remember from last season, last few weeks.
Play action, Kaliakmanis. He's going to dump it to Jackson anyway, who gets away from the first, but not the second, and he loses a yard.
And it doesn't matter what down, Michigan has really been able to kind of make him uncomfortable, and so far 3 for 9 in the game, but only for 4 yards. That first catch was for a loss of 1.
Spencer in motion, Evans the back, delayed handoff, and he goes backwards.
Cam Good, I mean, again, Cam Good is like a third-string defensive tackle, number 99. But he's a big body, and he's going to fight his way in there and just clog things up. And then the linebacker, Colson, comes in and finishes it off. Actually, also Josiah Stewart, one of their edge rushers, one of their transfers who came in from Coastal Carolina, dynamic pass rusher. But the depth on this defensive line for Michigan, I think, is pretty impressive.
And now again, the Gophers behind schedule with a 3rd and 12. Kaliakmanis had some time, it ran out quickly, dumped in the backfield by Stewart.
Just talked about Josiah Stewart. He's an elite pass rusher, and he just whips Ursery, the left tackle. Just uses a speed rush, and there was excellent coverage downfield as well. Nobody open for the quarterback to throw to.
Crawford back on, he'll get it away to Thaw. Does so cleanly. And Thaw is going to bring it in on the fair catch, 33-yard line.
And he kind of gets in behind those big offensive linemen, and he's hard to find, the same way Barry was.
Pitch it, Edwards. Trying to set up his blocking, and he's going backwards. Another solid play. That's Maverick Baranowski, the redshirt freshman, to get in the backfield and lose yardage. When you need something good to happen, just give the ball to number 2 and watch. 2nd and 13 after the loss.
Edwards really good out of the backfield catching the football too.
McCarthy over the middle. Edwards makes one man miss. A first down for Edwards. Through the first 5 games this year. But he's been the biggest cheerleader for everybody else throughout the process. McCarthy dialing up a deep ball down the field. Oh, it's caught. Cornelius Johnson. Sensational effort.
McCarthy was not looking at Cornelius first, but he comes to him late when he sees there's no safety help. It's one-on-one coverage, and he lets the ball fly against Darius Green.
Gains 49, sets up 1st and goal. McCarthy's going to keep it himself. McCarthy gets to the outside, lowers the shoulder. He's in. Touchdown, Michigan.
Okay, this is the perfect example of this unselfish attitude of the Michigan football team.
Now Turner will look to make it 7. And the extra point is through. In his 7 years as the head coach here.
Well, they're just flexing right now. Offensively, they're over 200 yards, and they've held this Minnesota offense to 47 total yards in the first half. Yeah, it took a reduction in his contract. He made some changes to his coaching staff. And after this play, I'll tell you the most important thing I think he did to create the turnaround that we've seen.
Grooms put in motion, play action. Kaliakmanis just looking for anything. Swing it to his running back, Evans. Shimmy shake, Evans a spin, a second spin, and a first down to the 38. Picks up 14.
I remember Josh Ross, one of the captains, and during that year when they turned around Aiden Hutchinson, they said it made a huge difference in the building, and they started playing a different level and a different brand of football, and it has continued for 3 years.
That buy-in is apparent. Play action again. Kaliakmanis, and he's just going to eat it. Mason Graham, who they've been thoroughly impressed with the continued progress of the sophomore, shows him why, wraps him up. Handoff on 2nd and 10. Evans just bursts through and picks up 6.
Nice run, really nice block by Daniel Jackson, the wide receiver, number 9.
Remember, Michigan did win the toss and elected to defer. They'll get the ball to start the 3rd. Hand it off, Williams slips, and he's going to be short. The run play on the 3rd and short makes it feel like maybe 4-down territory right here for the Gophers.
Let's see what they decide to do here. Greg Harbaugh, what call he makes. It's that same formation, the overload to the left side.
Handoff, Williams barrels forward for the first down.
Powerful run.
Another 6th-year senior Williams leaves way for Evans. Fresh set of downs, handed off, Evans, and he tries to do his best Houdini to escape, but does lose yardage.
And it starts with having fresh bodies up front. They control the line of scrimmage.
Apologies for any technical issues here. as Minnesota set up for a 2nd and long 10. Williams on the handoff. Stutter step move, patient run, and then power at the end to bring up 3rd and short.
Corey Crooms Jr., number 4.
4 down territory, handed off. Williams, and he's going to come up short, about 1.5 yards. Brings up 4th down again. And it, Williams, he'll get another 1st down, another 4th down carry. Now they're going to have to get to the line quickly and spike it.
Clock it now, yeah. No timeouts, they're going to clock it. I just didn't understand what they were doing before this, because now they've got some urgency. Now they're going to try to be aggressive and run a couple plays here.
It will be interesting to hear what P.J. Fleck has to say about the situation after the game. But for now, 2nd and 10 with 13 seconds left. Kaliakmanis loads it up, going deep towards the end zone. It's caught! Daniel Jackson, touchdown Gophers.
Well, I guess P.J. Fleck knew exactly what he wanted to do. They had time for maybe 2 plays there with no timeout, and it only took them 1. They got the 1st down, they clocked it, and then they executed perfectly for the touchdown.
Kesic, extra point, it's true. Samaj Morgan and Joe Taylor deep for the Wolverines.
Daniel Jackson had that 4th down touchdown catch. They've outscored opponents the first half. In the 3rd quarter, it's 55-0 in favor of the Wolverines. So they've been dominant coming out of the locker room as well.
Samaj Morgan is going to take this short kick back. It's across the 25, but not much further. Interesting, good insight into the mind of P.J. Fleck as McCarthy swings it. Edwards on the outside, and he'll pick up 6 on 1st down. J.J. McCarthy continues to show that poise, show that mental side. That's where he really wins as a quarterback. He's someone who meditates a lot. He's somebody who has non-negotiables every morning, takes a cold shower, puts something nutritious in his body, and he's starting to really prepare like a pro every day.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's a guy, if he doesn't have an NIL deal with Dove Men Care, he should, because he's very comfortable in his own skin.
Oh, that's good. McCarthy, deep shot, and he underthrew his intended target. He was looking for Fred Moore. And now a critical 3rd and 5 to start this 3rd quarter.
What a boost this would be for PJ's team if they can get a 3 and out here to start the 3rd quarter.
McCarthy fires, incomplete, looking for Edwards. Tommy Doman back to boot it away to Quentin Redding. Nice blitz there on this punt team, and the fair catch made at the 26-yard line. A 43-yard punt will set up this Minnesota offense.
Well, again, they make great halftime adjustments. Again, Jesse Minter with some experience with the Ravens. I think NFL guys, they just have a way of making adjustments maybe better than guys that haven't spent time in the NFL. And they've been dominant in the 3rd quarter of games. And in the 4th quarter, they play a lot of backups, and they give up stuff a little bit in the 4th quarter, but not in the 3rd quarter when the game still matters.
You asked Chris Jenkins about Jesse Minter's halftime adjustments. He called them fire. 1st down carry, Williams up the gut for 3.
Well, the biggest adjustment they need to make, Michigan that is doing a better job against this outside zone. Evans is in there.
Play action, Kaliakmanis. Decent time. Oh, that was batted down at the line of scrimmage. That was a confident-looking release, but McGregor was right there to get a paw on it. That was Corey Crooms, who looked like he had some daylight to work with. So instead, it's a 3rd and 7. Sean Tyler now the back. We've seen all 3 through the first 3 plays. Kaliakmanis steps up, looking to tuck it and run, and he can't get away. Nice play by Derek Moore to track him down and force 4th down.
Derek Moore is the defensive end on the other side. He just kind of keeps eyes on the quarterback, and he doesn't rush aggressively, works down the line of scrimmage and makes the play. Again, they've got 4 edge rushers that all play an equal number of snaps, and all are very, very effective.
So 3 and out for Michigan, 3 and out for Minnesota to start this third quarter. Now Crawford, another punt. Send it to Tyler Morris. They've been rotating between 2 punt returners, Michigan, and a good Minnesota bounce. It'll die down at the 22. Pretty remarkable, and now Michigan looking to extend what is currently a 2-touchdown lead with Blake Corum on the ground, dragged backward after a pickup of 3.
But they think he can be a good player, but he just has not played yet this season.
McCarthy to the air, lofts it, a little too high for Corum.
In these situations, they're not a real big defensive front 7, but they're active, and they've got some good stunts and twists.
Ball's back in there for Minnesota.
See, they're showing pressure right here. Now JJ's changing the play. I bet they don't come on this one, though.
McCarthy, here comes the rush over the middle. It's caught. Roman Wilson, first down.
What a nice play. I mean, that's his go-to guy.
First down for McCarthy. Corum stays in there, up to 63 yards in the touchdown. Play action for McCarthy. Lobs over the middle, wide open. Roman Wilson in space across the 30 and ushered out of bounds inside the 25.
What a clean pocket. Redshirt freshman linebacker Baranowski just kind of got lost in that zone coverage.
Wilson's starting to get cooking a little bit. 2 catches on this drive. That one goes for 34. Now Corum around the edge. Looking for some space. Bounces off a tackler. Gets inside the 20. And is upended at the 18. That would have been 5th among anybody in the combine. McCarthy looking towards the end zone. Incomplete. In the direction of Loveland.
I wondered when they were going to try to get him involved.
Mullins looking for the hole. He finds it for the first down. 1st and goal.
Nice change-up calling the run on that 3rd down play.
Mullins will stay in there.
3 tight ends in now.
Give it to him. Up the middle. Spinning his way to the 6.
To their run game.
6'2", 240. 2nd and goal. McCarthy keeps looking for his 2nd rushing touchdown of the day. A stiff arm and the extra effort. He gets in. Touchdown. Tenth career rushing touchdown, 2nd of the day. First multi-rushing touchdown game of J.J. McCarthy's career, and now Turner's extra point is good to make it 31-10.
He's just playing at a very, very high level, and Jim Harbaugh loves him, and even compared him to Andrew Luck in a lot of ways when we talked to him this week.
Which, when you hear that name, obviously that carries a lot of weight, as Evans is going to get the first down handoff. The stutter step move will gain him 6. Meanwhile, on the other side, a 2nd down and 4 for Ethan Kaliak-Manis, who learned from Tanner Morgan the last couple of years. He'll roll out of the pocket here. Flag is down, and he'll just throw it away. Chris Jenkins, again, supplying some pressure.
Holding. Offense. Number 88. 10-yard penalty from the previous line of scrimmage. Remains 2nd down.
He's as big as some offensive tackles, but it's still kind of a mismatch trying to block those kind of guys with a tight end.
So at the midway point of this 3rd quarter, now Minnesota down by 21. At some point, Kaliak-Manis is going to have to let it loose a little bit and take some risks. We'll see how quickly they get to that. The run game has been pretty successful with Zach Evans, who's in there. Play clock under 5. Kaliak-Manis over the middle, and it's incomplete through the hands of Jackson, who had the late touchdown in the 2nd quarter. 3rd and 14. Kaliak-Manis feeling the pressure. He is drilled in the backfield by Mason Graham.
And getting to the quarterback.
So Jake Thaw back to receive this one from Crawford. And he'll take it from the 45. Get some blockers. And gets into Minnesota territory to the 49. Michigan has scored 30+ in every game so far this year, coming off a season high of 45 points last week against Nebraska. Looking for more on the completion to Donovan Edwards as it goes for 7.
Yeah, and they're a team that just, as the game wears on, they wear on you, and they wear you out. And P.J. Fleck said, you know, that's what we kind of pride ourselves on, being a team that can make you tired. He says, they make you tired.
Yeah.
He said, we can't do that, but as this game goes now, that's what Michigan's going to try to do, and that's, you know, that's kind of part of their MO with this offensive line, is they make you say uncle.
And there's no drop off no matter who's in the game. They're going to swing it out here to the outside. Samaj Morgan, the freshman, dives forward for the first down.
Keegan and Zinter on the inside, they're the tone setters. We also have Miles Hinton, we haven't seen yet tonight, who's another transfer from Stanford.
Handoff, Edwards up the middle, squeezes through to pick up 5. They've assimilated well, they've spoken up when they've needed to, but overall it's a group that has this cohesive feel, and Zach Zinter believes that's because off the field they're even closer than they are on the field, and that just provides that bond, play after play after play after play over the course of a game and a season. Edwards another carry, and he pushes the pile forward close to the first down marker. It'll be a half-yard shy.
12 or 13 personnel, you know, either 2 tight ends or 3 tight ends. This time only 1 in the game, Loveland.
Play clock down to 2. Play action for McCarthy. Steps up, and as he throws, doesn't matter. Colston Loveland, touchdown Michigan. Flag is down.
Ruling on the field is a touchdown. Also, personal foul, roughing the passer. Defense, number 0, driving the quarterback into the ground. 15-yard penalty will be enforced on the kickoff.
See, JJ sees this is coming, so he's going to communicate to his line and his back. See him pointing? Let's change our protection. Let's slide to the left, pick up the pressure. Mullings picks up the blitzing linebacker. That means man-to-man coverage on his tight end, who gets quick separation and the touchdown. It was the recognition and the change at the line of scrimmage that set up the TD.
Michigan will take the extra point. James Turner.
I mean, this Michigan team looks as good as anybody out there in college football right now.
Whip it up the middle and just go down shy of the 25 here with Michigan. And Jason, you can hear on Football Night in America tomorrow right here on NBC. There's a handoff to Evans, picks up 2.
I just continue to marvel at the job Brock Purdy has done for the 49ers.
Outstanding. To see how they would fare against the Astros. They did lose game 1 of the DS, but a lot of sporting events going on. Started the NHL season with the Minnesota Wild, Minnesota Timberwolves over in Abu Dhabi earlier today. They're making their way back for what should be an exciting season. So Minneapolis feeling exactly what they are hoping to feel as sports fans, and the Gophers, despite the performance today, had looked better last week against a good team in Louisiana. And despite everything we said about them playing an entire season through 5 games, you didn't have this level of opponent yet. And this is an experience for someone like Ethan Kaliakmanis and really everybody on this team to go take and move forward with, not just this year, but as P.J. Fleck says, now in the years to come. Kaliakmanis fires, intercepted. And this one's going to be taken back for a second pick 6. Keon Sabb, beautifully read for Michigan.
Well, the difference between zone defense and man-to-man defense is in zone defense, defensive backs have eyes on the quarterback. In man, they have eyes on individual receivers.
Turner, extra point. 21 points in this 3rd quarter alone for Michigan. 1 on the run from McCarthy, 1 through the air to Loveland, and now a pick 6 from Sabb.
And they're kind of continuing that trend tonight.
Evans.
And they're doing a better job here in the 3rd quarter against this Minnesota run game.
That toughness, that intensity that they play with, but it's also how many guys they can get in there to stay fresh. And another just beautiful play by Mason Graham.
They have figured some things out.
And the stats are as one-sided as you can make them. And a 3rd and 8 now for Minnesota. Span forward. Incredibly quiet today in motion. Kaliakmanis looking towards, and span forward overthrown.
Well, again, pressure. You know, Kaliakmanis had to get rid of the ball at that moment. I think if he could have held it a little bit longer, he might have given Spanford a little more time. But there's quick pressure. He's got to get rid of the football and just not able to make the connection.
So Minnesota will kick it away here, as Mark Crawford has gotten busy in a hurry.
I wonder how much more we'll see of J.J. McCarthy and Blake Corum and some other guys.
Jake Thaw, fair catch made at 30. Fools around the country despite being as talented. And instead of saying, hey, let me go out there and get 2 more touchdowns, he says, let's go get Jack Tuttle some play. They have not allowed a point in the 3rd quarter this year through their first 6 3rd quarter opportunities. Jack Tuttle, the backup quarterback, is in there for the Wolverines. He'll hand it off to Kalel Mullings, who keeps his footing and finds the first down on the first carry of the 4th quarter.
Well, a lot of backups now. You got backup offensive linemen in. You've got backup running backs in. But the same style of play. Still power football. And a 240-pound back coming at you full speed.
Blake Corum, another productive day. 9 rushes. Nice job of finding space for 69 yards and a touchdown. And this was something that P.J. Fleck went into detail, not just with us, but publicly as well, about the modern era of college football, as Tuttle swings it out for Morgan, and he'll pick up 6.
Well, yeah, you're right. And part of that is the resources, and part of it is a winning culture that they have at Michigan right now that people want to be a part of.
Mullings, lots of space in the stutter step to the 30.
That is imposing their will here in the 2nd half on this Minnesota defense.
So a fresh set of downs here. Stay on the ground. Mullings, no running room this time. Tripped up in the backfield.
Michigan should be at their peak as well, because they are better now than they were a couple weeks ago.
Tuttle to throw, dump it down over the middle. A.J. Barner spins his way for first down yardage and then some inside the 15. J.J. McCarthy, we've seen him cheer on a lot of his teammates. He is going to be Jack Tuttle's #1 supporter for however long he stays in this game. Mullings looking to get to the outside, slips a tackle, flag is down.
Holding. Offense. Number 44. 10-yard penalty from the previous line of scrimmage. Replay first down.
That's pretty impressive.
They are first in all of college football in penalty yards per game, fewest at 18.6. Minnesota's not far behind them. They're 5th, 28.2. These are 2 very disciplined teams, and we've seen that play out. Hand up the middle. The poise and finding that rhythm that we've seen these last couple of weeks, especially the last 2 where they've played some complete football games. Franklin trying to be patient, and he gets drilled.
Well, I think there's a couple things to keep in mind as we see Michigan start to look more like we were used to last year when they averaged 238 yards a game rushing. You know, won by wide margins, but their running game is just now starting to kind of hit its stride.
10th play of the drive. Tuttle steps up, will look to run, escapes. Tuttle, can he get there? Looks like he can.
He stepped out before the pylon.
Just weaves his way through, sets up 1st and goal, hand up the middle. Touchdown, Leon Franklin. New season high in points for the Wolverines. And the first career rushing touchdown for the grad student Leon Franklin. And does he break it right there?
I wonder if he, when he went to bed last night, thought, you know what, I think I'm going to score a touchdown tonight. Fourth running back we've seen in the game from Michigan, and he's on the scoreboard.
For the second consecutive week, had to come from behind to beat Duke last week in the latter portions of that fourth quarter, and right now down 24-13 with just under 10 minutes remaining.
What a turnaround in year two. Big game by Dylan Gabriel today.
He was outstanding, as Tyler will have the carry and pick up 5. But you look at that top 10, and we haven't really talked about this a ton yet. The fact that it feels like this is a year that's been different from maybe the last few years, where there's so much more parity. There are so many more teams that fully have that belief that they can win a national championship this year. And when you look at it, the eye test actually backs that idea up.
Yeah, there are more teams. I mean, there are teams that look like they could be realistic contenders at this point, whereas in the last couple of years, there maybe was 1 or 2 teams that seemed like they were separated from everybody else. Now, Michigan looks pretty doggone good tonight, and apparently Georgia's looking the same way as the number 1 and number 2 teams.
Florida State looks strong again. Ohio State eventually pulls away from Maryland. You mentioned Alabama. North Carolina continues to rise in the ranks now in the top 15 with a dominant effort over Syracuse.
Mentioned Ohio State. How about back-to-back games for Kyle McCord?
Yeah.
Had his coming out party in South Bend and then threw for over 300 today. Ohio State couldn't run the ball, but he did a great job of throwing it.
Did it without Travion Henderson today, as Tyler will go up the middle. They did have this fairly close through the first half, and the big touchdown at the end of the second quarter gave them some positive momentum heading into the break. It's just about those slight tweaks here and there that eventually cost you big time in that third and early fourth quarter.
Yeah, and the biggest thing for them right now is they just can't quit, you know, and they won't. I mean, this is a team that has great culture with P.J. Fleck. You know, they got to just fight to the very end. You know, Athan, he's got to do his thing. It's not been a good night for him. 5 for 16, 52 yards, but they just got to hang in there and just keep fighting and try to make some corrections in the bye week, get healthy, hopefully get Darius Taylor back in that running rotation.
And Iowa, despite some struggles for themselves, is 5-1 on the season.
And they'll have a big game with Wisconsin next week that'll go a long way in determining the outcome of the Big Ten West.
Time after Jack Tuttle led a touchdown drive in his first and only appearance of the day. So third quarterback of the day for Michigan with a 42-point lead. And now a handoff that goes to Tavier Dunlap. We talked about the transfers. We talked about the difference between a program like a Michigan or some of those top-tier, top-ranked programs in the country. You mentioned the culture that Jim Harbaugh has installed. The other part of that is, and he mentioned this, I thought this was so smart, and he's 100% correct, as Denigle's going to look to throw it, and the strike is short.
You know, if players are only interested in where they're going to make the most money in NIL, he's probably not a guy that's going to fit at Michigan, you know. Now, that doesn't mean they don't have NIL opportunities, but they've also got a winning culture and a team that's going to play for conference and national championship opportunities and get prepared to play at the next level. And some kids are getting great deals to go to different schools, but it's not all about that for everybody.
Minnesota gets the defensive stop. Michigan will punt it away with Doman. Fair catch called for and made by Quentin Redding.
Earlier in the week, they are selfless. No one is trying to be the star. Everyone gets the job done, and we have seen that to a T tonight, guys.
And KT, it also goes back to this idea that everyone who travels believes that they're going to play in the game. And that's a powerful belief for a player. If you're showing up and saying, all right, I'm probably not going to get in, maybe you can say you prepare as if you're always going to stay ready, all that. You can say all the cliches. But to actually believe it, actually put it into practice and do it for now 6 games to start a season, that's special.
Yeah, and I mean, this is an extreme case because of how well they've played and getting all these guys in. But these guys are getting in backups. This stuff is going on tape, too. And it's going to get reviewed and coached and looked at by everybody. So nobody wants to let go of their end of the rope.
Todd, in at running back is Jordan Nubin, who is the brother of star defensive back Tyler Nubin. And he gets the handoff here, charges up the middle, and picks up a couple. We asked Tyler about playing with his brother. He said it's a dream come true.
Yeah.
Said that, and I would imagine.
Said it's been a while since we met each other in the B gap, yeah. But he loves having his little brother and just kind of guiding him along here in the process.
That he's taken him under his wing, try to limit the mistakes that he made. Tyler did early in his career, and Jordan has a first down on that carry. A fifth-year quarterback in Tanner Morgan and a stud running back in Mo Ibrahim. They've got talent on this roster. He knows it. He just wants to develop it. And they went after Ethan Kaliak-Manis hard a couple years ago recruiting. They didn't even take another quarterback the year after just to ensure that they would get him.
Yeah.
And they believe in him moving forward. They believe in his arm. They believe in his talent. They believe in his hard work and effort and how he's kind of started to galvanize his teammates along the way.
Yeah, I mean, the bye week will be good. You know, it'll be good to kind of get the cobwebs out, clear their heads a little bit, and the taste of this kind of a game. They just weren't up to par with this Michigan team today, but it doesn't mean they can't have a good season. This loss would put them at 3-3. And remember, this is a program that has had back-to-back seasons of 9 wins. They won 11 games in 2019, so they've had some success here. It's a young team. It's an inexperienced team.
And a lot of football to be played for this Minnesota team. Coming out of the bye week, they go to Iowa City in what will be a tough matchup. And we'll see if they can make their own adjustments. Lubin another handoff and another first down. And we'll see what P.J. Fleck elects to do.
So under 200 yards for the first time in the last 3 weeks, but still a very balanced Michigan offense.
And it looks like Minnesota will not run any more plays and will let the clock run out. You see Kaliak-Manis with that leadership, keeping the spirits as high as he can. But this one was too much Michigan. The #2 team in the country, dominant in every facet of the game. 52-10. The Wolverines take the Little Brown Jug in Minneapolis. Outstanding game for Michigan.